Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of Hoppets. Today, checking out some classic beer made by a modern brewery. It's actually also a really cool collab between a very legendary brewery and a modern craft brewery. So this is a collab between Basqueland and Schneider Leichte. I never saw this collab coming, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, yoink! They had this on Beerdome, so I had to pick it up when I saw it on their web shop. So thanks to Beerdome for the beer. Link for the shop is down below. So this is the Basqueland and Schneider Leichte Baskenweisse, a lighter hoppy Weiss beer on 4.5%. So the brewmaster of Schneider actually supplied Basqueland with their proprietary yeast, their house yeast to use for their beer. And since, for the collab, and since in a Weiss beer, the yeast is the main factor that's like, you need a really good Weiss beer yeast. I'm pretty surprised that they were able to get this and use that. And like, that's the main thing you want. So getting that Schneider yeast must really have helped in making a really good Weizen. There's a lot of tricks. There's some step mashing to do, and there's some fermentation ordeals. Like if you want more banana, you under pitch a little bit. If you want less, more clove, you pitch regularly. So you can do a few tricks and whatnot to make it turn out the way you want. This is also a little bit untraditional because they also use oats alongside wheat and barley malt, and then they dry hopped it with Citra, which is really cool. So Schneider was one of the first, I think the first Weiss beer producer to play around with modern hops. They did their Hopfenweisse, they've done their TMOH, which was with Nelson Sauvin. So they've played around with making hoppy Weiss beers, but the Hopfenweisse, it's like a Weizen Doppelbock or Weizen Bock. So it's a stronger wheat beer. And the base malt here, so Josef Lechner was the master brewer at Schneider that they got the yeast from. And I'm just trying to see here, it actually said the malt that they used, Iraklia barley malt. Don't know about that malt, but a pale ale malt. But let's check it out. So it pours a nice hazy golden yellow color in the glass. The original hazy. It's not as hazy IPAs though, you know. But it's also much brighter compared to Schneider's normal Weizen. Also got to break out a Schneider glass for this. I don't have a lot of Hefe Weizen glasses, but what I have is from Schneider. Actually I have a handful. I used to drink the style a whole lot more than I did back in the day, and I actually brought back quite a few from Germany to review because it's so fun to revisit some of these styles, and some of them are just so good and overlooked in the modern day and age of beer. But yeah, let's check out the aroma on this golden yellow colored beer with a white head. Citra hops definitely shine. Even though it's a light dry hop, there's immediately citrus and citric zesty kind of nuances. And I think the banana is soft and it's definitely more of a clove spice-centric Hefeweizen. Clove and a little bit of like white pepper or something. And grassy too. And like doughy and fluffy, kind of wheaty, just like pale wheat bread. It smells really refreshing. Smells to the lighter side, but it's also a leichte Weisse, so a light Weizen. I actually think Schneider used to do something they called leichte Weisse. I'm not sure if they still do, but let's try it. Cheers, and thanks to Beerdome for the beer. Definitely quite different than your classic Weizen. It almost tastes like a hoppy pale ale with, you could be fooled to say Belgian yeast. / German yeast, because it's actually very hoppy and very citric. It's no way near as full-bodied as a lot of classic German Weizens, but I think that's also the goal when you make a 4.5% light Weizen. I don't want it to be overly sweet and rich and banana heavy. It's really summery actually and really refreshing, although they released this for the fall. It has a slight peppery nuance too, slight soapiness or something, but it's really, almost coriander or something. But it's really, it's not classic Hefeweizen at all. I think it almost reminds me a bit of like an American pale wheat ale, but with the right yeast. Because often American pale wheat ales, the classic ones, they would be just with American ale yeast, some of them. and then they would be heavy on wheat, so they'd be hazy and then dry hopped and whatnot. I will say I prefer when they do these, when Schneider has done these modern Weizens, modern, when they've played around with modern hops, they've had these, nice modern hop characters, but they've been more banana forward. I like when Weizens are more full and more banana forward. It shouldn't be too much, so it's just like a sweet banana overripe mess. There should be some balance with some phenols and some spice. But this is lacking a bit of the banana edge, especially on the flavor. It's more citrus and more spicy. I think even blind, a lot of people would confuse this with a wit beer because it's got a lot of spice, which I think is both yeast but also spiciness from hops. But it's good nonetheless. Like, if you serve this to me, I would not think Schneider Weisse immediately at all. I would think, probably like an American Pale Wheat Ale, because it's also got a decent bitterness. It's not like massively bitter, but there's a nice bitter snap on the back. So yeah, it's like a pale wheat beer with I think the best comparison is American Pale Wheat Ale in terms of the flavor profile I'm getting here. But this is still really good. I mean, enjoyable stuff, like an 88 or something, 89. Very crushable, really easygoing, nice modern wheat beer that is something like Wheat's American Pale Wheat Ale, more so than classic Weiss beer. But again, some Weiss beers are more spicy. Like, it's so different. It compares. It compares. It depends. It depends on the brewer. But yeah, nice stuff. So thanks again to Beerdome for the beer. If you guys had a chance to try the Leichte Baskenweisse from Schneider and Basqueland, let me know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram, and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'm going to say cheers, and see you guys in another beer review.